So we just talked about the question, can a treaty do what the Constitution says Congress can do? Now the other question is, can a treaty do what Congress isn't authorized to do? Okay, your premier classical examples is UN Gun Control Treaty, okay, United Nations Gun Control Treaty, where it says, no nation shall allow any of its citizens to own or use guns. Now, is that treaty, can it become the supreme law of the land? Once again, it depends on what the Constitution says. Does the Constitution say anything about gun control? Well, it does, right? In the Second Amendment. Very good, okay? Second Amendment says this, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay? Pretty clear. Let's read through, let's kind of define some of these words real quick for fun. The right, what's right? Right is like a freedom, okay? The freedom of the people to keep, what's another word for keep? Well, to own and bear arms. What's bear arms mean? Bear means to use arms, guns, right? Shall not be infringed. What's that big word infringed mean? Means taken away. Okay, so let's reread it. The freedom of the people to own and use guns shall not be taken away. Now, if that's what the Constitution says, it says they can't, the government can't take away guns. Can a UN treaty come along and say, no, you shall take away guns? No. Obviously, just like we talked about before so many times, it's not, the treaty is for international relations. The treaty is not for other countries to be able to tell us what we're going to do inside. An easy way to remember the idea of treaty is a treaty is to help other nations decide how they're going to treat each other. It doesn't have governance over what happens inside of our borders, inside of the United States. So a UN arms trade treaty is a great example of a treaty that would violate the Constitution. Too many people say, well, we signed a treaty, we have to be men of our word, we have to follow through with the agreement. The agreement between nations has nothing to do with what's going to happen in our own nation. Otherwise, why have the Constitution? Why not just have an international body like the UN trying to decide what laws we have? Which is a movement that really is unfortunate because it's happening. There are a lot of people who want the United Nations to be in charge of the country instead of the Constitution to be in charge of the country and to govern with the treaty instead of with our founding document, the Constitution.